have been using this map for so long. In fact, some tournaments are still using the Cloud Kingdom. It's that popular. You know, it's outlived Daybreak, which is really saying something.
Yeah, and right now, sorry if I'm like interrupting that thought, but right now we do have a Roach Warren from Winter, and he's actually going for the Roach push on 2 base.
He is. That's correct. Still mining gas. Roach Warren is just about finishing off. Obviously, not P that his opponent tried to play this greedily. Opponent, in the meantime, has got his warp gate only just started, 21 Blizzard seconds in, and he's got +1 attack on the way. So it looks like he is trying to go for some kind of aggression, getting that +1 attack so quickly. But I think this Roach push could really catch him unawares. There's actually no drones mining at the natural for Winter as well, so he's pretty committed to this push, as we see several Roaches already popping out.
Yeah, so many Roaches coming out from Winter here, and he will try to do a really big push with these Roaches, of course, trying to kill his opponent. And right now, what does History have? He has 2 cannons finishing up. He's going to have 2 cannons, and he has 1 stealth and 1 sentry. That's it. But he's actually calling out the sentry. I think he knows something's up. He hasn't scouted anything, though. He doesn't see this incoming, and still, he's actually chronoing out. So, he's calling out the sentry. He's getting the second foot cannon. His nerd senses are tingling.
Yeah, I think what tipped him off is the scouting probe, which is just getting chased by Zergling now. As the Roaches do come into the push, and he saw there was no third coming out here from Winter, so he knew something was up. But I think it's going to be too late, as 3 Roaches are able to break through, and they do focus down that first cannon. Entries are still going to be able to put down some force fields. They've got no energy left on them though. He's already expended all of those force fields. I do beg your pardon. More cannons getting spanned down, and the walls getting put down as well. The 1 hero cannon is still firing, but I think it's going to get forced down. There it does go down. The 2 sentries are still alive and kicking, but the probes are being called in, and it does look like the first sentry will go down. The Milchik Core is firing down on these Roaches that they do try and pursue. Is he going to be able to hold? It's going to be touch and go for a second here. The 1 sentry is getting caught by these Roaches as well.
Yeah, we're really close here, because right now there are 4 Roaches. Of course, the Mushko will eventually kill off, but more and more Roaches coming in from Winter. And we do see in the production tab, they actually doesn't have any units out right now, and he's trying to get 3 more gates. Of course, he will try to get some units out, but I don't think he can hold this. Way too many Roaches, and so many more Roaches and Lings just streaming towards History's base. It looks like he might have done it, actually.
Yeah, I think you're right here. Only a handful of Roaches left in the natural, but so many more units streaming into the in the main. But so many more units streaming into the natural, as we see here. Several Lings coming in and picking off a lot of these probes. That 1 hero stalker gets picked off, and there's the GG. Winter ties things up. Currently 3-3. So we have a real series on our hands here, Zwick.
Indeed, we do have a great series coming up here. I'm going to have to fix some matters with the administration. So why don't you tell us? I'm actually going to choose a subject for you to talk about. I want you to talk about the metagame right now in CVP and what we can expect for the next game. Just, you know, an easy topic, basic.
An easy topic, the whole metagame, not just one little bit of it, but the entire
just talk about it. What do you think about it? What you see when you see this, you know, when you see these kind of styles, you know, how it clash, you know, for those who don't play this as often, and that kind of stuff, you know, just make it entertaining, not being harsh.
It's interesting. I have recently stopped playing solely Terran. I've gone back to playing random on the North American server, which I am in the Diamond League on. I reached Masters with Terran, but I wanted to improve my game knowledge with all of the 3 races. So I've gone back to playing Masters, which is fun in its own right. But I have to say, I find playing Zerg against Protoss or Protoss against Zerg to be easily the hardest to get wins for. In fact, it's easily my if you look on my statistics on NA, it's my worst they are the 2 of my worst matchups. I think, and that's partially down to the vast number of strategies that have been evolving recently in the matchup. You know, if we look at TVZ, the kind of the biomine play is so prevalent, and the kind of the Ling Bling muta so prevalent from Zerg to try and counteract it, that you're a lot more sure of yourself, I think, if you're a Terran player or a Zerg going up against either of those 2 races. On the other hand, as a Protoss player, you've got, you know, a plethora of almost a plethora of options, and the Zerg has got myriad responses that he could actually throw back at you. You know, you've got viability for units like Swarm Hosts. You've got Void Rays making a real resurgence, of course, since the introduction of Heart of the Swarm. Void Ray, such a more powerful unit than it used to be before. But yeah, I mean, it's a diverse matchup. It's an ever-changing matchup, and I think it's actually the most exciting matchup to watch at the moment. Unless you include those incredibly long games from Stefano against Todd in WCS EU when he went Swarm Host Viper, which I have to
I
say
love
is got to
that.
be one of the most boring styles to watch.
I love that. By the way, just a quick input here. By the way, Rensei was wondering why the in-base forge to avoid by being sniped by potential roaches. Why you do an in-base forge basically is first off you might not actually finishing your like the small thing. I would say the big thing actually is that if your opponent is all inning and you have an in-base forge, you will hold it by making a cannon. Basically, if you don't make the in-base
That's
forge.
correct.
If you don't make the Imbus Forge, you have to sacrifice the Forge. And you get one cannon now, perhaps, but you have to sacrifice the Forge. While if you have an in-base, you don't have to. But you still lose the Nexus. That's basically the
It's
difference.
it's an interesting stylistic choice. He can get away with it on Cloud Kingdom because the natural choke is so thin. You'll get that if you notice his pylon was close enough to his mineral line that, as you say, he could have thrown down a cannon in the middle of his mineral line, and that could have helped avert any kind of 10 pool or 6 pool shenaniganry. So, yeah, it's a stylistic choice, but it can obviously reap dividends if your opponent goes for that early Ling pressure. You're going to lose the Nexus at the natural, but hey, at least you're not dead.
Indeed. And right now, I think we're waiting for you at the moment, I think it is.
Ooh, I beg your pardon.
No,
I had just
that's cool. That's cool. Just so you know what's going on.
yeah.
And anyhow, right now though, both players, as you say, playing very well. I just had to mention something as well about, this is my favorite matchup kind of thing. So you guys know, of course, I think actually, because honestly, Service Pros has always been my favorite matchup. I always say that honestly, but the truth of the matter is that like when a cast says this, is one of my favorite matchups, it's almost like saying when a band comes to town and saying this is one of my favorite towns to play in. It's the same thing, kind of.
You feel like a bit of a PVZ groupie. You get up there, you see a PVZ going on at DreamHack, you just want to get up the front of the stage and go, woo, PVZ, love it. And yeah, so that's you, Zuig.
That's me, okay. Oh god. Anyhow, welcome to Neoplanet Essence. Spoiler bomb left side, playing for Denfan. It is history.
History. His opponent spawning up in the top right-hand position. This is, of course, a two-player map. He is playing for Poison Hearts Winter. Winter showing some excellent all-in skills in that last game. We've seen pretty aggressive styles from at least one of the players in each of the games. It's either been an all-in from one player or an all-in from the other. I don't think we've yet to see the true macro game yet, or was there one at the beginning that I might have missed?
Well, I have to check. Well, Neoplanet was the second one, right? First one was... Oh god, which one was the first one? I can't remember. No, we haven't seen...
There was a Whirlwind game as well, yeah.
Which one?
There was a Whirlwind game, but that was quite an aggressive push as well.
Yeah, no, we haven't
Was
seen
that
any macro
Whirlwind?
games, no. No, we haven't.
So these players just content to keep on all-inning each other or defending their opponents' all-ins, and that's fair enough. It makes for exciting games. Guys, though, I'd really like to see a macro game here.
I would like to see like Winter's usual style, where he just goes for like a fairly hardcore macro with the more aggressive mid game, but like no pushes or anything, just getting quite a few links to control the mid game. And
Yeah.
I want to see History go for the range style. I just love seeing that.
Rain, of course, one of the best Protoss pros to model your own play off. You're never going to win any style points. You're never going to be called the master of flair or originality with your game, but you will be known as very safe. And if you want consistent ladder points, sometimes safety is the way to go.
That's true.
Like, yeah, it is so true.
One risk though to know about, and by the way, we do once again see a 3-hatch before pool by Winter. So,
oh my god, Winter.
Oh my god, Winter. He loves this, it seems. He never did this before. This is something new, stylistic. He just started doing, I think, or like, a week back or something. It seems like he really likes it. But anyhow,
Yeah.
something the Rain is very good at is being, just defensive and really good. And, something you could compare him to almost is Thorstein, the Spoon Terran, it just getting up that army, playing very defensively, and then just pushing slowly and killing your opponent. Rain is kind of the same with Puros, basically. He's, very safe. He's playing StarCraft with rubber gloves, basically.
Yeah. or as I think Tasteless would say, StarCraft with condoms on.
Yes. I didn't want to make that one, actually.
Describes Artosis' game style.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's a conspiracy that tournament organisers basically ensure that Thorzane, Hazwabs, and Rain are never to be placed within the same side
Oh
of the
my
bracket.
god. I think they like randomize and they see those three are the ones in the same league and they're like, no!
Because Hazwabs is, of course, the European Protoss, the German Protoss, also known for that incredibly slow play. He can be twice the supply of his opponent and still tentatively poking around the map, making sure he's got an advantage, but, you know, never quite able to finish off his opponent with a quick game.
And by the
It's
way,
just not his way.
yeah, indeed. And by the way, everyone who's wondering, right now we're just waiting for something peculiar to happen because this just standard opening so far, no, not even a forge coming up yet. So basically, this is just standard opening so far, nothing weird going on. So that's why we just keep having this conversation. Anyhow, someone as well I would like to see not facing Rain or Thorzane is Goody.
Yeah. To be honest, I'd feel bad for Goody if Rain actually did go up against him. We saw, I believe it was Rain against Bomber, where Bomber attempted mech on, I think it was Anaconda in WCS Career, and Rain just picked it apart.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was Rain, correct me if I'm wrong.
I think it is Rain, yeah.
But Goody's style, obviously more reliant on siege tanks, whereas, of course, Bomber did opt for a kind of a Thor Hellbat style of composition, but still... I think Goody would try and draw it out, but in that situation, I'm pretty sure Rain would just go for the kill, you know.
Oh, and here we go, Stargate on the way for History and +1 as well. So this is interesting. +1 and Stargate could be macro, of course. There are macro builds with us, but he can also do some really potent pushes.
Yeah, a lot of it depends on what these first few units that come out of the Stargate are. I really love the Stargate opening in PvZ. I think it's so flexible. You can go into a number of different compositions. And of course, this Scouting Overlord, it's a worthy sacrifice in spotting that Stargate almost straight away. I'm not sure he's going to quite be able to see what is actually getting produced from it. In fact, maybe I think History is actually going to wait until he kills it.
Oh
no,
my god!
And if he spots it, if Winter's quick... Oh, he started a Phoenix and then cancelled it.
Oh, that was so smart. If he makes a void right now.
Is that a fake out?
He makes it. Oh
Yeah,
my god, he's so clever.
now.
Oh,
History, you
you
son of a gun.
you sneaky bastard.
You sneaky bastard, History. He is worthy of the Protoss title.
Oh my god, that was beautiful.
Good Protoss players know how to employ cunning, and a lot of it involves cancellations or tech switches or this kind of shenanigans, and History really put up a good one there. Wow. So we have to see how he follows this up. I mean, we could see, obviously, Void Ray timings are around, but the Void Ray is a unit that's actually going to be useful all the way through the match.
That is absolutely true, and those Void Rays, as you see, he's making more of them. We're gonna see if he adds a ton of gates right now, he will go for the Void Ray push basically, and he does look like he wants to add more gates. We do see how many gates are there right now. It's going to be 6 gates with Void Ray. They can do quite a bit of damage. Also, something to look for if he actually just masses up more and more Void Rays. Something to really look for. That really Void Ray heavy army is so hard to deal with. Even though you have all those Hydras die to Void Rays actually, if you get enough of them. Especially when you have ground support for the Void Rays. Hydras go down. It's so hard to hold. But Winter actually going for Ling Hydra, which is a great counter to that build that History is doing right now until, late stages of the game, of course. So right now, Winter doing a good choice here. No upgrades though yet. And it's going to be a +1 against 0-0. And History, of course, having the upgrade lead. And if he actually, he's getting so many gateways, I think he'll just go for the all-in here. Or not all-in, but, push at least.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's going to be fairly all-in. I completely agree with you. I guess Ling Hydra's probably his best bet at the moment. He's going to have a few queens out from this macro opening as well. So hopefully he brings those into the fight too. Of course, queens are actually an excellent answer to Void Rays. I mean, in great enough number, they can help with the transfuse. They do decent enough DPS for anti-air. And of course, they've got so many hit points and armor as well. So they're pretty tanky. Comparatively, Hydras can be a bit squishy if you'll excuse the use of my own ID there, but that is quite appropriate. I feel like the Hydra is a squishy unit. Oh, Ling's trying to poke here at the front, getting a few sentries. Missiles do come down to protect some of them, but I think these are going to go down. Ooh, manages to clean up most of the Lings with the Zealot there as well, but I think this army, this little force is going to get completely cleaned up. Excellent use of the Lings there from Winter, so that cuts this Protoss ground army in half.
Very well done, but how many Hydras does he have right now? Oh, 17 Hydralisk? Oh my god, Winter, what? He's going to have close to 22 soon, and when this hits, I mean, 17 Hydras? No chance that History will attack into this. No chance. If he snipes the Magical before the recall, History loses his entire army. No chance he can attack into
Yeah.
this.
No doubt. And this probably is why we don't see this